Yo, what's good, guys? Getting started here with the lesson. I'm being joined here by DaVine himself. How you doing?
Hello?
I forgot to set the bottom here. Give me just one moment to take care of that.
No problem.
Do it again! Oh boy!
Yo, we got the sub? Yo, Paradigm, thanks so much for the 2-month sub. Means a lot. I know it'd be more than 2 months if I didn't not stop streaming, but thanks so much. Support really means a lot. Kind of lackluster jig right there, but we got the lesson stream anyways. We take those. Yo, No Ned, how you doing? Yeah, I haven't been able to stream in quite a while. Alright, so for those of you just tuning in, which is everyone, I don't know why I said that. We got DaVine over here. He is a former Rosalina main, picking up Shulk due to some, I believe, some personal baggage, but we're not going to talk too much of that. So, you said you believe yourself to be an intermediate level player. High intermediate. You perform very well at your levels. Okay. Okay, so you said you wanted to, as your overall goal, by the time you stop playing Smash, you want to win a regional, eventually become a top 50 player. You believe yourself to be fearless. Your edge trapping and ledge trapping is on point. You have a solid combo game. You make some good ass fried chicken. There you go. That's what you gotta do. But you say your neutral game is lacking. Your adaptation is lacking. You don't respect your opponent enough. You don't play defensively much, and you have a tendency to tilt. And okay. So you said your goals for today. You wanted to understand neutral. You wanted to learn Shulk's best neutral tools and find out more about yourself. So I'm going to tell you a bit of how this is going to work for starters. I say first off, we're going to spar for a little bit. I want to try to get a feeling of exactly where you are. We have 2 hours to work with, so we got plenty of time. So I'm going to be fighting you in specific ways, and I want to see how you deal with it. Okay? I'm not going to give you too much details until we're actually getting started. So let's go ahead and start sparring. Oh jeez. Things to not do. Not handle Mario. Okay, I'm definitely seeing a little bit of the recklessness in the trick. Yeah, great timing. Yo, Maverick with the $15 donation. Thanks so much.
Get yourself some good buttons.
You already know I'm going to get myself some good buttons. So actually, I did want to talk to you guys a little bit about that. I do have this donation goal, which I just met. It was this $15 donation from Maverick, and of course the $80 donation from DaVine. But since the new Smash game is going to be coming out soon, I don't think I'm going to be able to act on that right away. I am going to get the new controller, but it's going to take a little bit. Since I want to know exactly what kind of controllers would be best to use. Who's the new game? I'm going to wait for further details. Might be at the end of the year that I end up putting forth and getting that controller, but thanks so much for everyone who helped out with the donation. If that Smash announcement did not come, I definitely would have bought that controller right now. Oh. What happened there? Okay. I'm already noticing a few things that I want to talk about. But we're gonna give it at least till this next time. Okay. So before we continue, let me check up on the chat a little bit, make sure I'm not too much of a good.
I bet everybody's roasting you right
No, they're roasting me. Back air slash. Could it be Tremendo Dad finally streaming for once in his life? I mean, I've been streaming occasionally, not very often. I need to stream more, but it's hard with work and things like that. But, you know, hey, we back. We trying. The latest streams have been way into the early hours for me. I feel you. I've only been able to stream at night because I've been working a lot. I've been streaming, and that's when other people are available. But yeah, we got an early stream. There we go. Lower volume a bit on music. It's overpowering my own mic. Okay, thank you for that. Let me go ahead and fix that. Or at least boost my own mic. Let me do a little bit of both. Okay, my mic's already at max, so we're gonna lower the volume of the music. Oh yeah, that is way too high. Okay, so it should be a lot better now. Alright, ask, are you really $4 short of your goal? That's exactly where I was, $4 short of my goal. These look like buttons being pushed. They definitely do. If just support, honestly, I would prefer it support. Because this is already a fantastic game. We got a lot of fantastic stuff in it, and 2 hours of development onto this game would make this the definitive Smash title. It's a new Smash game, but also the year though. Whatever happens, happens. Anyways, so continuing on, a bit of what I noticed in the start, it wasn't immediately obvious because I wasn't exactly making a good display of the different playstyles that I was playing in, but every so often I would switch to a completely different playstyle and see how you would deal with it. So for starters, I was playing passively. I was letting you initiate and try and capitalize off of that. After that, I was playing sort of a bait and punish style, which I call active defense, in order to try to force you to overextend using your passive options, and to see exactly how aggressive you were. I might need to revisit that with you later on because I wasn't able to get a good feel for it, but then I was able to rush you down as well. So yeah, you say you're a very aggressive player by nature.
Yeah.
When you say that, what do you mean?
I mean, like, I just kind of rush in without thinking a lot, and it's not because like I'm dumb or something. It's literally just because that's how I like to play the game.
Okay.
Like, I just like to.
You like
I
to rush
know
people
it's
down,
kinda-
overextend, not and like
Yeah.
just open them up and get that reward off of it.
Exactly.
Okay. It's a noble goal for sure, but there is the issue of the fact that if you like, let me give you a very basic example of what I was saying. I want you to try to. I'm going to run up to you and I'm going to grab. I want you to spot dodge when you think I'm going to grab. Okay.
Okay.
You see how easy that was, right?
Yeah, that was pretty easy.
Okay. Now I want you to do it again.
Okay.
You see how almost impossible that was.
Yeah.
That's the idea. It's like if you rush someone down from across the stage, it becomes very easy for the opponent to see it coming and react, because it's a straight line from point A to point B. They know exactly when you're going to arrive at point B, if you keep going at the same speed throughout the entire thing. However, if point A is right next to the opponent, then it's going to be almost impossible for the opponent to react, because they don't have time to react, even though it's a direct shot. Now, here's a third example I'm going to give you, okay?
Okay.
I want you to spot dodge in reaction to this. Like,
Alright.
when you think I'm going to grab. Now, go to the other side of the stage. It's fine.
Okay. Oh, jeez. Okay. Yeah,
That's misdirection being applied. That's how you can trick people and fool their reaction time and get a rush down from across the stage, even though they see it coming, because you trick their timing. That's misdirection. That's what I call active defense. Essentially, rushing down someone, baiting their reaction, and then punishing that reaction.
You know, I think I fall victim to that a lot, actually, now that I think about it.
That's a playstyle that is best used against passive players, which is interesting because you tell me you're an aggressive player, which I associate that as an active rushdown style. If you're falling victim to that, then maybe you're not as aggressive as you think you are.
Could be.
When you define aggression, what do you think of? Do you think of approaching the opponent and pressing buttons, or do you just think of pressing buttons in?
I more or less think of just like trying to hit them. You know, it's pretty simple, but like I gotta run up and approach them. Basically.
Our guest is a little quiet. Okay, let me boost up his mic. Can you guys hear him now? Can you try talking?
Oh, hold on 1 second.
That's a tad bit better. Okay. I boosted his mic on Discord to the max possible. So hopefully it should be better now.
This is gonna sound really weird, but I think you can hear me.
Yes.
Okay. My dad needs to like cut something real quick. He's got like a little foreign project going on, like in my room right now. So like, he's gotta cut something like really fast, like 10 seconds.
Okay, take your time.
All right.
Things are dying.
Okay. Alright. Alright, we good?
You good?
We good? Okay, alright, I think we're good. Okay. Alright, yeah. So you think that I might be more of a passive player than I think I am?
I think you might be. I think. Here's the thing. When I describe an aggressive playstyle, I think of that in terms of position. Like, if I am over here, I am passive. If I am over here, I am aggressive. And here's the thing. I could be doing anything in this space. Like, I could be throwing out attacks over here, and I would still call this passive. It'd just be passive offensive. Meanwhile, I could be in your face, and I could be shielding, or spot dodging, or baiting you with positional movement over here like this. And I would consider that defensive, but I'm still being aggressive. So I would consider this an active defense. Like, a lot of people think of playing offensively over here, playing defensively over here, and then they're missing out on an entire third layer. I like to think of it as a quadrant, which allows me to kind of cover all the bases.
Right.
On the basis of stage control, on the, like, the goal of the player, and the method. The goal here being I want to protect my control of the stage. And the method is by throwing out attacks, or by playing proactively, or by playing reactively. If I'm over here, I could be trying to rush you down and take your control of the stage. I could be doing so proactively or reactively.
Okay, so you think that I'm like? Do you think that I'm like?
I think you're an offensive player, for sure. But I don't know if I want to make that distinction between... Like, it could also be... Like, the reason that I'm saying this is because you fell victim to this playstyle, which, honestly, your playstyle, if you described it as I'm seeing it, you should be able to beat this without much effort.
Yeah.
Like, if you just rushed me down when I did this, it doesn't matter if I'm trying to bait out your reactions because you're hitting me before I can react. I'm trying to react to you. So what this tells me is probably that you're less rush down, more offense. Like, you're a proactive player. You're throwing out buttons, but you're not necessarily doing so with regard to your opponent's position, or regards to your position relative to the opponent. You told me that you don't really have much thought of the opponent's progression. It's like the way that you described the way you play. It sounded to me like you were treating this game like a single-player game.
It's honestly kind of it's like, it's not that like I think it's a single player game. It's just that like sometimes.
Yeah, I'm not saying necessarily you're disregarding your opponent's existence. I'm saying that you're playing the game with only focus on yourself and not so much on your opponent. Besides any more attention, like you're giving your opponent as much attention as you would a practice dummy or a CPU.
Okay. That makes more sense. Give me 1 second.
Sure. Did I see Nico's new tier list? No, I haven't. You go ahead and post that in the chat. Thank you very much. It's a meme. Of course it is. Nico is a meme. Big Sword Ink. I see this monstrosity. Of course Sheik is #1. God damn it, Nico. Yo, Shulk? He put Shulk under Marth even though he thinks Marth is bad? I mean, hey, I respect it. Let's go, Nico.
Okay.
You putting this that low? Oh God, no! Someone stop this man.
Alright, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Yeah, I'm back. How much time have we done so far?
So far, it's been about 20 minutes.
20 minutes, okay. Do you think we can make this like an hour lesson instead? Because like, my dad's getting kind of upset because apparently we were supposed to work on this thing and
Yeah, of course,
I
that's
didn't
fine.
tell him I was doing this. Yeah, then we can just do like another one on like Wednesday or something.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay, that works then because he's getting all upset about it. So.
All right. So,
We'll just try to get the most we can out of this and then continue Wednesday or something.
alrighty, sounds good.
All right.
Okay, so,
Anyway.
so a lot of this has to do with a big issue is neutral as opposed to the advantage state. Advantage state is where you said you excel, and that makes a lot of sense to me, seeing the game that you see it, in the sense that your opponent is kind of irrelevant. Like, their actions are irrelevant to what you're doing, because in the end, you're trying to hit them, you're trying to get the reward for it, you're trying to kill them. And whatever your opponent does in the middle doesn't really matter if you succeed and kill them, you know?
Right.
So that tells me a little bit of why your neutral is lacking, and a little bit of why your decision making is lacking. So, when you're considering your opponent's actions, considering your opponent's actions is a big part of neutral. There's some characters that can get away with just flailing around and pressing buttons, especially if they can kind of turn every matchup into a chart. Like Shulk is a big example of that. Was the needles and the fairs and like getting so much reward off of small things. Shulk is a great character to play style. But even then, she can benefit from realizing what the opponent's doing, conditioning them, and punishing them in different ways. And with Shulk, who's more of an adaptive character, it's very important to consider your opponent's actions in order to be able to kind of turn everything on its head. So let's talk a little bit about neutral, as opposed to advantage, disadvantage. Let me get your percent. Okay, so when you start a match, everyone starts on the opposite side of the field, and this is already starting in neutral. So, a little bit of what you got in the neutral game. You can do almost anything and you're not feeling restricted by your opponent. Like, there's no pressure on you right now. You can move forward, you can move backwards, you can jump, you can shield, you can roll, you can spot dodge. Whatever you want to do, you can do it. Follow your heart's content. You can backslash away from me and I probably wouldn't feel like Like, this is what neutral is all about. You have options. You have an equal amount of options.
Right.
And that's the whole thing that determines advantage and disadvantage. Now, we're going to talk about two different kinds of advantages, which are things that you want to gain in order to win neutral. There's positional advantage, which is referring to stage control. So let's say I am over here. If this wasn't on Wi-Fi, you'd be able to react to anything I do from this position. Like, there's nothing I can really do to catch you off guard. If I run up to you and grab, you can spot dodge or roll out of the way and you'll be perfectly fine. You could even potentially, if I was like a little farther back, you could jab in reaction to my approach and I wouldn't be able to do anything to you, right? And meanwhile, if you're in speed art, you could like take a step forward and like down tilt. I wouldn't be able to do much, or like you could even like just walk up and grab or dash grab, and I wouldn't be able to do too much. Shulk in speed art has a ridiculous presence on the stage, a range around an unreactable zone the opponent can't really deal with. But in terms of aerial approaches, think about when your attacks come out. If you, let's say advancing Nair is one of the most rewarding things that Shulk can do. If you advancing Nair towards me, I'm not going to be able to react to it because we're on Wi-Fi. But if we were on Wi-Fi, I'd be able to react every time. If we weren't on Wi-Fi, I'd be able to react every time.
Right.
That's because when you think about it, Nair comes out on frame 13. And your jump is 5 frames before you leave the ground. So even the earliest nair you can possibly do comes out on frame 18. And your opponent, like, average reaction time is around 13 frames, and average input delay is around 6 frames. So 19 frames is around when people are reacting. So if you immediately just buffer a nair when your opponent's facing away from you, like, if I'm right here and you buffer a nair if I'm right behind you, then I will not be able to react to this ever. It's not going to happen. But the later swings of the nair, I should be able to react to offline. If I'm watching the instant you jump.
Right.
Even on Wi-Fi, I'm able to react to this. Like, that's not a good sign.
Yeah.
So, the fact that you can, like, short hop advancing nair in neutral is a Wi-Fi habit, and you should immediately purge that from your system.
Okay.
It's not worth it. Like, it's high reward, but it's also high risk. We're going to talk about that in a little bit. It's something I really want to cover with you before this lesson is over. So, that goes into a little bit of positional advantage. We're going to return to that, because that was a slight tangent. Now, let's say I'm over here controlling the space. Even though I can't rush up to you and approach, if you rush up to me, try to approach, right now I'm outside of your zone. So if you try to force an approach, I'd be able to react to it and I'd be able to punish you. And even worse, I can use the stage behind me to take a step backwards and make it so you stay within this zone of mine. So if you try to rush me down right now, and I just back off, I can very easily just take a step backwards and do whatever I want. Like, for example, try coming at me with an advancing nair. Whoops. Damn it. But you get the idea. There you go.
Yeah. You can pivot forward smash, and like the Corins can do that a lot too. Especially if they like run away and do it.
Shulk can do it really well as well, because you got your forward smash. I personally use AB smash to make it a lot easier. Just make sure you press A before B.
Oh, okay.
And after you turn around.
Hey, I'll practice that.
Yeah. But for the most part, you can do things like spacing nairs and spacing back airs while facing away from your opponent. And there isn't really much that they can do about it. Because if they're trying to rush you down, you just back off, especially with Buster Art, then you can hit them with these ridiculously powerful hits, and you get a single hit, and it's worth as much as a combo that some characters can pull out, you know?
Right.
So, that's something to keep in mind. You have the stage that you actively control, which is your unreactable zone. And then you have the stage that you passively control, that you indirectly control, which is the area of the stage behind you that you're denying to the opponents. So over here, if I am over here, I have more control of the stage than you, because I can back off, and you can't. You don't really have that opportunity. You can back off like a few inches. And if I force you to back off, like if I fool you into backing off by like doing this, and you take a step backwards, because you don't want to deal with whatever the heck I'm going to do here, maybe you like throw out a back air in this position. And then I take a step backwards, your back air misses, now you're on the ledge, then you won't have the opportunity to move back at all anymore, because you're going to be like over here. And if you go off stage, then you're in an even more terrible position. That's a little bit about stage control, about positional advantage. Now we're going to segue from that into frame advantage. You probably already have a pretty good idea. So, like, for example, Mario has really good frame data. Shulk does not. If I'm over here, I have a huge frame advantage. Simply because no matter what I do, I can act faster than you. Like, the fastest option you have is frame 7. No, frame 5. Which is, I guess that beats my grab. But at the same time, I have my down tilt. I have up tilt, I have so many things. From this range, you're in a bad spot, because, like, your fastest option is frame 10. It's frame 9, actually, the dash grab. And my fastest option is, like, frame... God knows how fast. Or even, like, I can... Not that. Definitely not that. But, like, I have back air. I can take a step forward. I can rush you down. Do that. To just pressure you hard. Here, when you're stuck in hit stun, I mean, it's obvious you have a frame disadvantage when you're in hit stun. Because you're in lag. And now, here's something that's very important dealing with that. When you are being pressured, or when you are in lag, let's say you rush me down with, for exaggeration's sake, let's say you try to backslash me. You see how much lag that has?
Yeah, it's got a lot.
Any bit of lag that you add to yourself is time that you cannot be doing something else. So if you make the wrong call, and you're stuck in lag, from that attack and from the ending lag, and then you add on the fact that Shulk has ridiculous startup time on his attacks, you start having an idea of why poor frame data is as bad as it is.
Yeah.
In general, it's not too bad, because you do have things like Malk that can allow you to kind of circumvent it, but
Yeah.
Malk cuts the ending lag. It doesn't cut the startup time. So even though you have almost no ending lag, you can't attack repeatedly because the opponent can punish you between the first attack and the second attack. Like, for example, let's say you try to Malk back air, and then immediately turn around and forward throw.
Yeah.
Well, that was because you failed the Malk.
Yeah. Okay, so like, you mean like, was that because of a failed mouth? Or what?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, let's talk a little bit about Malk before we do anything else.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to teach you one very easy Malk timing. Okay, what are your controls?
I have the L button, L triggers to jump. Well, not triggers, but you know.
Yeah.
And then R is shield, C is grab, X and Y are jump to attack, D is special.
Okay. How often do you use that jump trigger?
I use it to do to purge, and then I use it to sometimes I use it to like do like that kind of thing. I don't really like. I don't like. It's something I've been practicing pretty recently. It's not something that like.
It's fully ingrained in the way you play.
Yeah, I don't know how to like incorporate it very well.
Okay, let me tell you what I use. Okay, maybe it's something that you can try out and enjoy a little more. Instead of having a jump trigger, I have a special trigger. This allows me to be moving around, doing whatever I want while cycling the Nautilus. And it also allows me to be at a shield the same way a jump trigger would. And it allows me to set up certain Malk timings the same way a jump trigger would. So I get the added benefit of being able to cycle arts, and I get all the bonuses that the art trigger does.
My only problem with that is just like pressing the L button over and over again. That might be kind of like I don't really press the L button that much, so it's like
it's a little strange at first, but I got used to it instantly. It felt so natural to me. It's something you might be able to try out.
I'll try it out.
But yeah, here's what I want you to do for now, okay? I want you to jump, and then using the trigger, and then immediately after you jump, input special. And then fast fall at the earliest possible time.
That?
Yes. There you go.
Okay.
That's a very easy Malk timing. Now, get back in the example. I want you to try to do that and then immediately forward tilt. Worked out that time. Stuff. It's because of the range, though. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess I'm going to use up B to demonstrate the point. Now. Actually, yeah, if you fair, it'll also demonstrate the point. Don't cycle twice, just once. Prime it if you have to.
Oh shit, I missed that.
You cycled it twice there.
Oh, I did. This whole like concept of like cycling is like I know that sounds weird, but like whenever I did it, I used to just kind of.
Okay, well you should have your jump art available now. But
Yeah.
when you stand still, you evade the attack. If you had immediately acted, you might not have done so.
Gotcha.
This is a little bit of, like, since we don't have much time, I do want to talk about that a little bit.
Okay.
Essentially, you have your intangibility and you have your ability to move quickly, but if you immediately act out of it, you only have 5 frames of intangibility. So if you immediately throw out a frame 12 option like forward tilt, then after those 5 frames, you have an 11 frame window where you are completely vulnerable.
Yeah.
Before your attack actually comes out. So if your opponent is a little doesn't like immediately get that follow-up, then you're gonna be in danger. Like, let's say you're fighting Bowser, he's got the frame 9 grab. Bowser would not care. Like, he blocks your shot. You maybe have like 2 frames of frame advantage or something like that. And then you immediately buffer the forward tilt, he buffers his grab, and his grab's going to grab you before you can do anything. Meanwhile, if he stood still a little bit, or rolled immediately, then his grab wouldn't have worked.
Right.
That's a bit of an example of what I'm talking about with the frame advantage. Shulk can't attack repeatedly. He can be safe, but he can't attack repeatedly.
Okay.
So even though
Is that kind of... Sorry, is that kind of what you were talking about like the other day whenever you were talking about like Cloud versus Shulk and why Cloud's different?
Yes.
Because Cloud can attack repeatedly and Shulk can't?
Yeah. That said, Shulk can be very safe. Like, he can attack and then retreat, and there's almost nothing the opponent can do about it. Cloud attacks and then keeps up the pressure. He doesn't have much room for it. He doesn't have much room... He has a lot of room for error, rather.
Right.
No, he doesn't have much room for error, but he has a large margin of error. So he can just keep attacking, and things that don't seem like a mistake won't be a mistake. It's like he can like auto-cancel down air on you and then immediately throw out an up tilt, or a forward tilt, or a jab, or something like that, or a grab, and then there's not really much you can do about it. Shulk, he tries to do that, he's gonna get bodied.
Uh-huh.
The only exception would be like Buster Nair into jab or something like that. That's only because of how little landing lag it has and how much shield stun it has. So that's a pretty good way of defining the differences between the two characters. So you got those 2 advantages in mind. So let's talk about combining. Let's say I'm playing in a playstyle that's kind of going like I'm trying to bait what you do. You try to swipe me out because you think I'm going to be approaching at this time, and then you swiping like that puts you in lag. I dodge your attack and then I punish you. That right there is winning in neutral exchange through positional advantage and through frame advantage. I am using my position, going in and out of your range, baiting your option. You throw out an attack, giving me a frame advantage. It's a very subtle thing. Even if I don't have positional advantage, I'm abusing the fact that I can move backwards. This is using the position that I have to my advantage, baiting your option, putting you at a frame disadvantage, and punishing you. That's a bit of the way that works. And then from there, I get my punish. And then over here is when I turn the game into a single-player game.
Right.
This is why you excel in advantage, but not so much in neutral.
That makes sense.
Okay, so let's talk a little bit about we're going to return to neutral in a second, but I do want to talk about decision making a little bit because it's one of the main issues that you said you had. So, there's a concept with every action you take in this game, which you need to be considering 3 aspects of every decision you make. You have the risk, which is what happens if your decision fails. You have the reward. What happens if your decision succeeds? And you have the chance of success. How likely is it that your decision is going to succeed? So,
Yeah, makes sense.
we could take this for anything in the game. Let's say your decision is advancing Nair. What happens if you succeed? Yeah, you get stage control, you knock me off stage, you get a combo, maybe you can string that Nair into a bear or whatever you decide to do. But you have to be ready in order to do that.
Right.
Now, what happens if your decision fails?
Probably gonna grab. I lose everything.
Potentially, yeah. You could even lose your stock.
Right.
And what's the chance for you to succeed? Almost nothing, because I can react to it.
Right.
So, dodging that, it's high risk, high reward, low chance to succeed, meaning overall it's a bad decision and you shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah, I get that.
That's a good example of the thing to make it happen. Of the way to visualize almost everything that you can do in this game. Like, advancing Nair isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it's not something you want to do in neutral. Let's say, for example, I am landing, and you decide to advancing Nair to catch my landing. Here, what's the risk? If you fail, then you probably miss and I reset to neutral. The reward is the same reward. You get your combos, you get your edge guard, you potentially get a kill. And the chance of success is high because there's not really much I can do about it when I'm falling from the sky. So there,
Right.
that's a good decision.
Okay.
So just,
But it's just not a good decision in neutral because you can punish me for it pretty hard.
yes. Like, I could just shield grab you, throw you off stage, and then get a punish.
Right.
Oh, damn! No, we got some donations here, but it didn't end up actually coming through for some reason. Hold on, let me replay this. There it is!
Is this the Krusty Krab?
Oh my god. Thanks so much for the $6.15 donation, Coach. Means a lot.
It's Pikachu!
I guess it's Pikachu. Ah! Damn it ended it earlier, but that's okay. That's esports. And we also got a $5 donation from Flora. Yo, the money raining down today. Thanks so much.
With great reflexes comes great responsibility.
God damn it. With great reflexes comes great responsibility.
Oh. That's terrible.
That's beautiful.
That's awesome.
Thanks a lot to the both of you. It means a lot. Anyways, so moving forward with the time that we have about 20 minutes left.
Okay.
So, dodging from those, what were we just talking about?
We were talking about decision making.
Yes. Okay, so risk, reward, chance of success. I talked about Nair. I talked about catching landings with Nair, and that pretty much goes into almost anything you can do. So, for example, let's talk about up smash at ledge. That's how you try to go for this. Risk is I turn like try the up smash right now. You had no chance to act there, and then I get a combo or an edge guard, whatever the heck, and at high percent you could even die.
Right.
So that's pretty high risk. Reward.
I was doing like a roll up.
Yeah.
Oh, what the heck? I don't know.
Whoops, my bad.
Oh,
It's a little tricky on Wi-Fi. Just react. There you go. Reward is I die. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yo, Harapon with the 6 bits. Thanks a lot. 6 cents. 6 pennies. This is very nice. The best. Okay, so yeah. And the chance to succeed is... I mean... I have so many options. If I could do whatever I want. Like, I'm not necessarily going to... If you're standing there, I'm not going to neutral getup. Because why would I? I can roll, I can jump, I can stay there, I can do whatever the heck I want. So chance to succeed isn't very high, unless you condition it. If you're, like, for example, let's say I'm trying to recover here, and I see you are at this position, right here. Say you're right here. When I neutral get up, when I'm in this position, I neutral get up, I have no fear. What are you going to do about it? The worst that'll happen is I get dash grabbed. Who cares? But you can also use this position to bait that. And here's another thing you can do, because like it's a little bit more dynamic when the game starts. Let's say I'm Shulk, you get on the ledge. And I want to bait an option. Let's say I'm already here. And I want to bait the neutral get up. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to run away, and then I'm going to run back. Because when I run away, that tells a lot of opponents, okay, I'm no longer covering the ledge, so I can neutral get up for free. So what I do is I take the step backwards, and then I come in with the up smash. Because I'm baiting that neutral get up. They're not going to roll because I'm covering the roll now, but then I'm actually not covering the roll because I'm going for this.
Okay.
Meanwhile, you could do the same thing in reverse. I could be standing here, and then me running in tells people, okay, I can cross them up with a roll for free. But then instead, I do that and cover the roll.
Right.
But this is, of course, doing it on an opponent that you can condition. By the way, I'd like to just take a moment here to just, do you know how to snap the damn leg?
No. I saw you talk about it, and like, I don't know. I think I watched one of your videos, and you're like, you know how to snap the ledge, and the Shulk that you were teaching is like, yeah, I know how to do that. So then you just moved on, and I was like, maybe I'll look at that later, and then I never did. So no, I don't.
Okay, it's time for you to learn how to snap the damn ledge. I'm gonna switch to Shulk.
Okay. It's probably pretty useful for him.
Yeah, pretty. No, like this stops him from being a bottom tier and turns him into an actual character.
Oh, that's good, because I kind of need that.
Yeah.
Great. Is it something like that has to do with like you pressing B immediately after you up B or something?
That's a big part of it, yes.
Is there like a certain height you have to do it at?
Yes. Essentially, like, you can snap the ledge pretty easily. I'm actually gonna go ahead and, I don't have it. It's okay. Don't worry about it.
I think I just figured it out. But we'll see just to make sure that I actually figured it out.
Yo, Pete Shampoo, how you doing? Is that the best Shulk in the world? Yo, you right. You damn me? That might be me. Maybe. I try. I play good video. Anyways. Yeah, there you go. You're snapping the ledge. Except,
Sweet.
not entirely though. There is a little bit more that goes into it. Like right there. You notice how high you poke your head? That's the bad thing. It's entirely dependent on how high you are poking your head. Because if you poke your head too high, then your opponent's just going to be able to kind of bat you out, and it's not going to be fun. Like, here I'm batting you out because you don't have iframes, but the point is you want to be able to not poke your head above the stage. You want to stay below the stage. Otherwise, you're going to have Sheiks 2-framing you with down tilt, killing you off of it. You don't want that.
No, I don't want that.
Now that's part 1. That's method 1 of snapping the ledge. There is another method to snap the ledge. You know how cloud players snap the ledge?
Yeah, they like do like an up like right after the ledge.
It's the exact same method. Usually, you can't snap the ledge when rising. But if you up B right next to the ledge, you will snap the ledge while rising. So this is especially useful. You're cycling to jump art, and then you're just below the ledge, and instead of completely jumping over the ledge and getting anti-aired, you just, boom, grab ledge.
I don't know if I can't tell if I'm doing it or if it's...
No, you're definitely doing it.
Okay. Yeah, okay, I see it. Yeah, that's cool.
You're doing the good? I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing the good myself. Shulk got that melee recovery. Yeah, pretty much. Sort of. That's why, like, I came straight off Project M with the ability to almost snap the ledge. Almost. I just didn't know you had to buffer the second slash. And then once I learned that, that's it. Good. People can't screw with it. So you see, this is what's going to be beautiful about it, okay? A lot of people, not knowing that Shulk can snap the ledge, will just devote all their time, instead of trying to edgeguard you, they'll just do something stupid like that.
Oh yeah, and then
Or like
I get
that.
a free punish.
Well, not necessarily a free punish, but you get a free get back to stage card. I'm
Yeah,
out.
Get out of jail free card. Just, like,
Exactly.
kinda get out of there. Yeah, that's cool. Okay.
By the way, let me, it's something for a little later, let me show you a nice little get out of jail free card that Shulk has that not too many people use.
Yeah, I saw that. I saw that in a one of those crew battles that you uploaded.
It's
I saw that.
stupid
Awesome.
busted. Especially, like, if you practice it and you get the right timing down, I can consistently do this frame perfect. There's no window to punish. I'm not doing it right now,
Yeah.
but
Sometimes.
there you go. That was probably frame perfect.
Okay. Alright.
There's broken stuff, but it takes
Yeah,
practice.
that's awesome.
Do you have the training mod pack?
I do not. I need to get it.
You should definitely look into it. There was a Shulk version that was released recently, updated version that not only does it do what Jugia's mod pack does, but it also puts an infinite timer or a near infinite timer on the Minato arts and no cooldown.
That's cool. So you can just practice malking and stuff over and over again.
Yeah, or even if you're trying to practice against Shulk, you could just keep Shulk in a specific art and practice combos against it.
Ah, that's really cool. I'll check that out.
Definitely look into it. I just realized why the music was too loud. I have the music volume set to 100 instead of 70. I'll have to change that later. But yeah, this is one of the most important things that you're going to learn with Shulk. And I'm going to teach you a way to practice it, okay? So you don't just have to eyeball it. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to training mode, spawn a bumper, take the bumper in your hand, roll to ledge, and then throw the bumper at your feet. It's going to knock you off stage, and then from that point, you can try to recover. If you get hit by the bumper, then you failed. If you get 2 framed by the bumper, then you almost succeeded. You'll know you got 2 framed because you get your double jump back. And your character's position will kind of shift when you get hit by the bumper. And if you just snap the ledge just fine, then you succeeded.
Okay, that's a good exercise. I'll try that out. Alright.
Okay, so we have about 10 minutes. Let's see if I can't talk a little bit about neutral for you. The way that I see neutral, I generally spend it by watching my opponent's playstyle. I'm only going to be able to go very briefly into this. We could talk more about this next time, but so you can start watching them. A little bit of what I was describing before was the passive and active playstyles, offensive and defensive playstyles. That's generally what I'm looking for in my opponent. And then I change the way that I play in order to counter them. So before I used to be kind of like you. I used to be hyper offensive, rush down, press buttons, and get good reward kind of stuff. Like I thought this was so fun. Like you look at some of my earlier clips and you see me just doing shenanigans like rush forward nair, getting really silly combos off of it. And this was like in the early 3DS days, so everyone was like, oh my god, what the hell is that? Shulk kind of nasty, even though Shulk is awful in the game.
Right.
Or in that time loop game. So, what I do, like, let's say my opponent is playing a rush down playstyle. Like, he's just rushing forward, pressing buttons, trying to do that thing that I did. What I do in that playstyle, against that playstyle, is I play passively. I stay back, I let them overextend, and I kind of just get reward for it. So, like, it's the same concept. You're trying to rush me down, you're going from point A to point B, and I know exactly when you're going to be arriving, so I just react to it and I punish it. And if I can't react to it, then I take a step back to where I can react to it. Now I can react to it, you know? There's no problem. Anything you can do, I can react to. Especially if you're going in a straight line. Like, often, like, just take a step backwards, punish, and then you run into my attacks, and then I get something, and then I'm at advantage, and now I don't have to care anymore. That's the idea. And right there, I was able to react to that because I took a step backwards. Oftentimes, when you have the advantage, you really don't need to take the initiative. You can let the opponent exhaust their options and then cover everything they can do.
Right.
So, step 2. Let's say my opponent's trying to wall me out, like the way you're doing right now. How do I deal with this? Well, what I do is I play with misdirection. I do a lot of stuff like this. Like, my opponent's trying to wall me out, then I take a step forward, take a step backwards, and then my opponent lashes out at me, and then from there, I can attack in their opening. Or I might, like, run forward and shield, react to what they do, and then get my initiation. I might, like, approach with something like an air dodge Malk, which I kind of failed there because I didn't have the art, but... Or even something like this.
Is air dodge mouth like a good approach option? Like
yes, it's broken. It's a good get out of jail free card, but more than anything, it's just straight up broken. Like, how do you deal with that?
I don't know.
It's iframes into iframes.
That's pretty awesome. I'm gonna use that.
You should. And here's another thing that's not many people utilize, but like I want you to try to anti-air this, okay? Hold on, I fucked up.
Okay. Did you just like?
Yes.
What happened? What happened?
What I did was I struck a fancy pose, and my fancy pose is iframes. Except it's like Malk, but I'm doing it in the air. I'm not canceling my animation, I'm just activating it early. So I cycle to the yard, and then I jump, and then I fall, and I'm in iframes while I'm falling. And it also has one more added benefit. When you strike the pose, you're in lag for 5 frames, and during those 5 frames, you have iframes. On frame 6, you can act, but if you act, you cancel your iframes. Now, here's the thing about that. Normally, when you're landing on the floor, especially like for Shulk, if you land from anywhere around full hop height, you see where you land with you have the smoke cloud effect? You got the big smoke cloud, that means you have 4 frames of lag on the ground. You get the small effect from a short hop, not fast fall, then you have only 2 frames. But here's the thing with Malk, or with the art pose. The art pose has 5 frames of lag that happen when you are starting the pose. It does not change when you land. So, when you land in the art pose, you have no landing lag. at all.
That's pretty crazy.
So, like, I can do this, and then just immediately shield with no window to punish. Or I can immediately grab with no window to anything. This is the fastest empty hop you're going to get. The fastest action out of empty hop. And its iframes coming down.
Yeah, that's pretty good. If you can find a way to utilize it.
This is something no Shulk utilizes. Not even me. I don't do this enough.
Well, I'm gonna attempt to learn it more. That's broken. Oh, wow. Okay. Huh.
So those are different examples of like something that you can use for an active defend approach. You can also like just straight up do something like that into that if you really want to get to that position. Like that, I can kind of just jump through your attack and then punish you afterwards. But Shulk's not really that good at doing that because his attacks are too slow. But this is something you'll recognize from a lot of other opponents, especially like, for example, Game & Watch players. You're going to see a lot of them do something like air dodge to back air and expect you to not be able to do anything about it. Boy, just react and shield. But honestly, a lot of the times you will not be able to react. But here's one thing you can do, okay? If you fight an opponent that is playing that playstyle where they're trying to bait you and punish you and kind of do all this stuff, this is where your rushdown playstyle comes in handy. Because, watch this. I'm going to run at you and shield, okay? Because I want to react to what you do, I want to do a safe option. What I want you to do is I want you to just dash grab. If you see me approaching from this far, and you know that I'm going to run in and shield, just dash grab. I can't react. I can't do anything about it. You want to do it faster, though. You want to dash grab before I have a chance to react. Before I even shield, I want you to dash grab.
Okay.
There you go. Perfect.
Awesome. Faster than that, but
yeah. Now, I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna show you, this really will not change much. Here's the thing, you're using your dash grab as a passive option. I want you to get in my zone and rush me down.
Okay.
Like, this is the point where you overextend. Because you have to overextend. But only if I'm playing in this playstyle. There you go. Now, let me show you something else. I want you to try to hit me with an advancing nair. I want to show you what happens in this position. If I am, let's say you're on the ledge right there, and I come at you with a shield. I want you to advancing nair. Notice what just happened. Stop. Yeah.
I went over you.
You went over me, but no, and even though you didn't get any direct reward because I blocked your nair, notice our positions now. You were on the ledge, and now you're controlling the entire stage. I was controlling the entire stage, and now I'm on the ledge. Even though you didn't get any hit off of me, you got a huge reward in terms of your positional advantage. Right. And now you can use this reward to control the pace of the match moving forward.
Okay. So now that I control like the stage, I can pressure it more, right?
Well, not so much necessarily pressure more, but you can play passively. There's nothing the opponent can do about it. Because how am I going to bait your actions if I have no room to move?
Oh, I see.
Like, my options are limited. I have to either go through you. I can't out-passive you because I can't move backwards. So I can't aim to tie. And you could just pressure me with safe options like mouth back air. What the hell am I going to do about it? You know? Or buster back air. Just buster nair and buster back air. I can't really approach. And if you hit me, you get so much reward.
Yeah, get that good old 18%.
Just make sure you don't, stupid percent is what it is.
Right. Why did I fall for that whenever I know that's a thing. Like, why did I try to?
It's Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
But yeah, by the way, one thing that you should do, when trying to set up the purge, you kill stick, right? How do you input it?
I press L and then I just full hop and then I do it.
Okay, but do you up an A?
No, up on the key.
Okay. Yeah, that's the thing. When you do it, you have to buffer it. And in order to buffer an up air, you have to do it, up C during jump squat.
Okay. That's pretty much how I do it.
Okay, that's good. You don't necessarily need to use a jump trigger for that. I use claw position for that. I use Y and then up on the C stick. Like, I'm pressing Y with my index finger.
Yeah. I know what you mean about my... I don't know if I'm doing that right. Oh, okay.
You're a frame off. If you don't get Shadow Eye, you're a frame off. I want you to press up. I want you to press jump and up on the C stick almost at the exact same time. Like, I'm gonna put on controller cam real quick. Although I don't know if you're actually watching the stream.
Yeah, I'm just talking to you. I don't know if my phone's.
Okay, that's fine. But yeah, just press that Y and up on the C stick at the exact same time. And then just hold down early. So you don't fast fall. Like the instant you leave the ground, you should be holding down.
Oh, okay.
And then just mash the B button on your way down. There you go. Now you got it.
Sweet. Awesome. I've never been able to do that.
Well, there you go.
Awesome. Okay, sweet. Yeah, makes a lot more sense now.
Alright, well, we're just about out of time right now, but that's the very basics.
Sweet, yeah.
And actually, I think we went through pretty much everything in terms of control. I gave you the basics of what beats what.
Rush down loses to passive play play loses to bait and punish loses to rush down.
Oh, so it's sort of like rock, paper, scissors.
Exactly.
Kind of want to.
So,
Kind of want to like.
going off of that example of rock, paper, scissors, playing in only one playstyle is like entering a rock, paper, scissors tournament and saying you're a rock main.
That makes a lot of sense, yeah. Okay.
It's not necessarily like rushdown will not always lose to passive. The passive player might have a hole in their defense, or the rushdown may just be that overwhelming.
Right.
But it will give you an advantage. Like, for example, if Sheik is rushing down pressing buttons in your face, and you're staying at arm's length and throwing out nairs and back airs, you're going to be perfectly fine.
Right.
And if Shulk is always rushing down and pressing nair, and the opponent is playing like bait and punish, actually no. How can I say this? Okay, let's say DDD. DDD tries to play bait and punish, but DDD really doesn't have room to back up. Like, how's he gonna back up? He doesn't have too much. Like, the only thing he can really do is this. If someone's playing passive, there's not really much DDD can do to force an approach. That's unfortunately the kind of character. Like, DDD runs forward, you grab him, and there's nothing that he can do. Because literally any option he can do out of a dash gets beaten by grab.
Right.
Anyways,
His
let's...
dash attack is pretty slow.
Yeah, his dash attack is slow, his jump squat is slow, and his aerial options are slow out of that jump squat. So you could just grab him out of the air. The only thing he could really do is like run forward spot touch, run forward roll. And
Right.
grab is safe against that for the most part.
Right.
Okay, I think this is a good place to end. If there's any questions that you have, definitely let me know, and we will continue talking on Wednesday.
Sounds good. Yeah. Wednesday for sure. I'll probably have a few questions by then. I kind of got a lot to process right now, but I'll definitely have some questions for you on Wednesday.
Alrighty, I'll try to get a notes page ready for you in that time. But for now,
Yeah, sure.
it's great having you on. Thanks a lot for the $80 donation.
Oh yeah, and thank you for your time to really help me out.
Of course, no problem.
I need this. So.
I got you.
Awesome. All right. Well, I guess I'll talk to you on Wednesday then.
Alrighty, take care of yourself.
All right. See you.
No contest.
Okay, so that was the lesson. If you are interested in a session like this, I do offer these for $20 an hour. Tailored to you for any character, and mostly focused on fundamentals, but I do teach specifics as well once it gets to that. Obviously, I'm a Shulk expert, so a lot of Shulk players will come to me expecting Shulk stuff, but any character can benefit. Anyways,